MC3 Tool 10, The Unspoken Reveal. How surfacing hidden concerns prevents quiet resistance, soft withdrawal, and the invisible misunderstandings that fracture global client relationships. Most miscommunication does not come from what is said. It comes from what is not said. Clients rarely express their full concerns directly. Not because they are being secretive, but because unspoken concerns protect them in ways spoken concerns cannot. Clients conceal uncertainty to avoid appearing unprepared. They hide disagreement to maintain politeness. They soften expectations because they fear sounding demanding. They avoid revealing internal constraints because they believe the relationship cannot absorb the truth. They quietly withhold context because they assume you already know. They bury hesitation because expressing it feels risky. The result is a hidden layer beneath the conversation, an emotional and cognitive underworld that shapes every decision, every assumption, every reaction. When this layer remains invisible, the conversation becomes unstable, because you are navigating only half the truth. The relationship becomes vulnerable to sudden shifts, unexpected resistance, or abrupt changes in tone. Confusion appears not because the client is inconsistent, but because you are responding to the visible meaning instead of the full meaning. The unspoken reveal exists to bring that hidden layer into the open, gently, safely, and without forcing the client to expose anything before they are ready. It is the art of creating a conversational environment in which unspoken concerns feel welcome to surface. This tool does not interrogate, does not pressure, and does not demand. It simply opens a door. Most clients will walk through that door if you build it correctly. This tool recognizes that clients often struggle to articulate concerns even to themselves. Concerns can be vague, unformed, or emotionally complex. They may originate in organizational politics, cultural expectations, fear of judgment, or prior experiences. They may be linked to identity, fear of losing face, fear of being misunderstood, fear of seeming incompetent. These emotional layers make unspoken concerns delicate. They cannot be extracted. They must be invited. The unspoken reveal works by shaping the emotional and linguistic conditions in which clients can express themselves without embarrassment, without fear, and without losing dignity. It is less about what you say and more about how you hold the conversation. You create a rhythm that allows space for the unsaid to appear. You create a tone that feels non-judgmental. You show a level of presence that signals, everything you bring here can be held. When the environment feels safe enough, clients reveal their unspoken concerns spontaneously. They soften their phrasing. They offer additional details. They adjust a sentence midway through. They share a subtle hesitation that becomes a doorway into deeper meaning. They confess small uncertainties. They admit internal contradictions. They bring forward emotional subtleties they normally hide. In multilingual environments, unspoken concerns multiply. Clients speaking in a second or third language often lack the linguistic subtlety to express delicate meaning. They cannot always find the precise words for doubt, hesitation, discomfort, or context. Rather than risk being misunderstood, they remain silent. The unspoken reveal gives them a structure that compensates for linguistic limits. It allows meaning to expand even when vocabulary cannot. Culturally, this tool prevents misinterpretation across divergent norms. Some cultures hide concerns to preserve harmony. Others conceal them to show respect. Others soften them because transparency feels confrontational. Others fear that revealing concerns may embarrass the other person. Without recognizing these dynamics, professionals respond to the surface message instead of the deeper one. The unspoken reveal makes the deeper one visible, not by confrontation, but by subtle invitation. Emotionally, this tool reduces the pressure that keeps concerns buried. When concerns remain unspoken, clients experience tension. That tension affects tone, pace, and decisions. It influences how they interpret your words. It shapes their willingness to commit. It builds until the relationship becomes stiff. When concerns are revealed, the conversation becomes lighter. Relief enters. The pressure disperses. Clarity gains space to breathe. The tool is most powerful when you sense something is present but unexpressed. You feel it in the client's tone, a quiet hesitation, a slightly flattened sentence, an unusual pause before answering. You see it in their choices, shorter responses, sudden agreement, or unexpected politeness. You sense it in the atmosphere, or a weight in the conversation that does not match the words. The unspoken reveal functions as a gentle release valve. You do not ask, "What are you not telling me?" You create conditions in which what they are not telling you becomes safe to express. The difference is enormous. This tool requires patience. You cannot hurry the unspoken. You cannot force it. You must allow the concern to approach the surface in its own time. The reveal often arrives not at the moment you expect, but in the small moments between, the pause before the next sentence, the softening of voice at the end of a call, that before we finish, that changes everything. When used consistently, the unspoken reveal reshapes the entire relationship. Clients learn that their uncertainty is not a threat. They learn that their internal conflicts can be spoken without consequence. They learn that confusion does not reduce respect. They learn that disagreement does not destabilize the relationship. They become more open, more truthful, more collaborative. The tool is also a form of protection. It prevents you from building strategies on incomplete data. It protects you from surprises, those sudden client decisions that appear irrational only because the unspoken reasoning was never revealed. It protects the relationship from the emotional residue created when concerns are bottled. And it protects the client from feeling isolated within their uncertainty. Most importantly, this tool deepens understanding. You gain access to the client's real thinking, not their curated thinking. You see the pressures shaping their decisions. You recognize their fears, their limitations, their cultural instincts. You become able to guide them more effectively because you understand the full landscape rather than a partial map. The next chapter strengthens this foundation by introducing Tool 11, the technique that prevents conversations from becoming conceptually tangled by ensuring the structure of meaning is visible, coherent, and easy to follow even when complexity increases.